join on the other side. Am I lagging? Am I lagging? Am I there? Am I live? Came over to this other channel, Fox CNN. I don't know what this one is. I think this just a few shows. So see what the lag looks like. I don't know. Oh, I'm not lagging, am I? Perfect. I'm not lagging too bad. So I just got done. Dad, where you going? Dad, where you going? I ain't going nowhere, people. I don't know what y'all are worried about. I tell this tale over at the story, over at the Fox, and now some people saying, where you going, Dad? Where you going? Shit, going nowhere. They can't shut you up. Shit, I talk over at Fox. CNN invites me over. Say, come on over here to CNN, do a little chit-chat with us. So, y'all ready to get into this? Okay, here's the concept. If you have ears to hear, you will listen. If you don't, you're going to be so fucking confused by the end of this video, you're not going to know what the hell to do. Leah's confused. Leah's like, even one of my wrenches is like, where are you going, Dad? Where are you going? She's so damn confused, she don't know what the hell's going on. She don't got ears to hear. So, what was I going to talk about? Oh, yeah, I remember. If you got ears to hear, listen to this. You know, life is a roller coaster. Like, holy shit, he really gonna talk about the same shit he just did over on Fox? Absolutely! Life is a roller coaster, up and down. If there's any spoiler alert coming, I'm gonna beat your ass. You know what makes roller coaster fun? Up and down the hills. Throw them hands up. Put your hands up in the air and ride the roller coaster of life. It is way, way, way more fun to ride roller coasters with your hands up. With your hands up. So much more fun to go through life's roller coasters. These up and downs. The problem is, the analogy of the roller coaster tells you how to go through life. But the roller coaster ride ends. And you gotta get off. What about murder? You guys love murder. Does life end at murder? Or does it go on? See, I think life ends at murder. I think it goes on. And that's why there's this inner drive within me for justice. Like it's sparked in me in this Kelsey case. I know I had it before. I knew there was something there, and I tried to focus it in all these different directions. And I did. I made money and lived the sweet ass I have. Listen, when you try to focus your energies in which your heart is trying to drive you towards, and you're letting it go out to all these entities, you can become scatterbrained, right? You become, you can overwhelm yourself. How do you overwhelm yourself? That makes no sense, but I've watched it happen. So, if life doesn't end, my cell phone power might, dude, that would suck if I lose cell battery right now because Dad didn't charge his phone. Fox, you'd have to go over to Fox and hear this whole story, which might be a better story because I told it for the first time there. Fox got an exclusive. Now CNN is like, what the? Let's see what's going on. Alright, if life doesn't end at murder, this explains drive that is in your heart. You know what I'm saying? This could explain the drive that is in your own heart to see justice come forth at murder. But it goes beyond that. If life keeps going after murder, this is why we are all driven for justice for Kelsey and justice for Mindy and justice for this different injustice around the world. I didn't know I had this drive in me because I focused it in so many different ways. But when you start driving in the direction your life is supposed to go, all of a sudden there seems to be roadblocks everywhere. There were never roadblocks. Evil starts trying to intervene in that justice. See, because evil knows that life doesn't end at murder. And evil knows that this shit goes on for a minute. And evil knows that if I can just intervene and confuse and bring in some dissension, let me play this thing like a puppet. Now, first of all, evil uses the most ignorant of tools. Evil can't convince logical tools to do evil for them. So evil comes in and tries to use these ignorant tools to disband justice. But justice seekers have something in their heart. Justice seekers have something that's so buried, so deep within them. They're not in it for anything but the justice of those that don't have a voice anymore. The hard thing is, justice seekers aren't afraid to talk truth, even if their truths are different. Boys and girls, who, if you have ears to hear, you might hear something today. If you don't, make a parody of Dad with a Phone. I'm just teasing. Don't you do that. Puppets. When councils come together, you know what a council is? For those that have ears to hear, council come together. A council will come together and speak with each other. A council will say, I heard this, and I heard that, and I heard that. And the council of community-minded people, of justice-minded people, when the council comes together, for those that have ears, let me hear. When the council comes together, truth is spoken and agreements are made. Evil has no privy to the council. They're not privy to things of private. Unfortunately, nor is the public. Nor is the public. Because the council is made of those that are special, those that have been driven, those that have a drive much greater than most to see justice done forever. Done forever. Let those that have ears hear, let those that have eyes see it. Because if you see it, you will not be surprised when it happens. Silence. You ever heard about silence? Silence speaks louder than words. Some of the greatest things I've ever done, some of the greatest responses I've ever had have been when I've shut up. Some of the greatest epiphanies I've been given was when I shut up. I'll tell you this story. This is a true-ass story. I'll say it 100 times and let history be told and let the people be aware. This happened to Dad with a Phone. Long before Kelsey was murdered. Right here in Woodland Park, we had a city manager. The city manager's name is David Buttery. He's going to love me for this. Let me tell you. Me and David have gone back, I don't know, we go back about 6 or 7 years. I probably started talking to David 6 or 7 years ago, maybe 5, 6 years ago, maybe 4 years ago, maybe 2 years ago, maybe a year ago. I don't know. We go back a little ways. David Buttery was the city manager, though, in Woodland Park for 11 or 12 years. And before that, he worked for the utilities department. So he's worked for the city of Woodland Park for about 21 years. And there was this time when me and David had quite a few interactions, and it was right at the end of his tenure where he was about to retire. And David Buttery was going to retire as city manager, and I was at his office for some reason, or was up doing something. And he walks out of his office and he says, "Hey, Michael, I want to invite you to my retirement party." So I got a personal invite from the city manager of Woodland Park to come to his party. And so I go to his party, and all of a sudden I realized I wasn't that special. I was like, there's like 500 people here. Here I thought I was special. Truth is, now it was standing room only. It was a packed house, and I had one of the seats, okay? And sometime right before I had gone to this party, I think it was like the day before or 2 days before, because at the party I was live. I'm pretty sure you can actually go to Underground live videos, and you can see me at the party on the Underground channel. And so we're at this party. Here's a fun fact with Dad. The party takes place at the Cultural Center in which KK parked at, for you crime aficionados. So we're at the Cultural Center. The party's going on. But right before the party, a couple days before, my wife is there at the party with me. Everybody's at the party, by the way. Judges, mayors, council members, police officers. Chief Miles was there. The sheriff was there. All these people. Old judges, old mayors, old politicians, business people. All the who's who of Woodland Park are at this party. And Dad with the phone's there. Mrs. Underground's there. And about a couple days before the party, I had shut down the Underground to download the Facebook page. They let you go in and download the archives of your page. And so I do that ever so often just to keep an archive. So one day I can hand a hard drive to some editor and say, "Hey, go fucking write a book. Go look at these messages people used to write about me. Go do something with this shit that people did back in the day when I was 40, you know, like when I'm 60, I'm gonna be telling people, y'all want some shit on dirt? Y'all want some dirt on Dad? Here's a hard drive. Every Facebook message, every email, everything." And so I had shut down my Facebook page. And I walk into this party with all the who's who of Woodland Park. All of a sudden, the mayor's wife comes up and says, "Michael, what happened to your Underground page? It's disappeared on me." And I was like, "Excuse me? Hi, I'm Michael." I didn't meet the mayor's wife at that point. I had never met the mayor's wife. "Hi, I'm Michael. This is my wife, Nikki. Nice to meet you. I'm glad you watched the Underground. Thanks. What happened? What happened?" I said, silence speaks louder than words. The night went on, and I was about to leave, and this was one of my favorites. Oh my God. The sitting Judge McCurdock, I don't know how, it's a woman, I don't know how to say her name, but I guarantee she won't lie to you if you go ask her this story. She comes up to me and says, "What happened to the Underground?" She says, "I watch through my son's page. I can't watch because I'm a judge. I can't watch." And she says, "I watch through my son's page." This is before the murder. This is long before any crime talk. This is just Dad with a phone in Woodland Park. And I said, "Oh, nothing happened. Nothing happened. I just, silence is gold. Silence screams louder than words." Now, I would like to say that it was all planned, but it wasn't. It was a lesson for myself. It was a lesson for myself. Sometimes the loudest words I've ever spoken is when I didn't speak at all. So when someone goes silent, you got to listen. You got to. You have to hear, because something's about to take place. It's like they're standing on the edge of a cliff and they're about to jump into the unknown. When that's about to happen, the world goes silent around you. And you have to listen, because what's about to happen, sometimes this is unknown to everybody, but it's far greater than where they're at. The jump into the unknown is always better than taking a step back. It's always better than taking a step back. Listen, when you go through life, this is an old parable. if life was simple as 1, 2, 3, as soon as you get to 2, you never want to go back to 1. You're trying to get to 3, but as soon as you take a step forward, you never want to jump back to 1. So if you have to jump into the unknown, and if it takes a second because you need to be silent, let your silence speak. If you're only silent for a day, if you're only silent for an hour, for a minute, or for a year, silence speaks louder than words 99.9% of the time. But the jump, the explosion that happens after the silence, if you got ears, listen. If you got eyes, hear it. I've been on CNN today, right here on the YouTube. I was over at Fox on the Facebook. I may have said it differently, but the message is the same. Evil comes in, but the counsel of the wise will come together and speak of these evil in private. We will handle in private how to handle the evil. Silence speaks louder than words all the time. And the explosion that happens when you jump into the unknown turns up the notch. Turns it up. It turns up the notch of love. It turns up the notch of hate. It turns up the notch of profit. It turns up the notch of growth. It turns up the notch. When you jump into the next level, the unknown, after the silence, after you've dealt with the evil, shit, kids, if you have ears to hear it, listen. If you have eyes to see it, watch out. This one's going to be fun. This one's going to take... I'm leaping. Dad with the phone, baby, is making a leap. Trust me, I already had my son. Oh, I'm not going anywhere. Don't confuse the words. I ain't getting quiet. I ain't shutting up. Shut me up, please. Try again. The counsel of the wise goes a long way. What happens around the table is private. The public may not be privy to it. But don't worry. Don't worry. I love it. We'll talk to you later. We're ending